U.S. culture emphasizes active mastery in the person-nature relationship, whereas traditional Chinese culture emphasizes passive acceptance of fate by seeking harmony with nature. Second, U.S. culture tends to be concerned with external experiences and the world of things, whereas traditional Chinese culture emphasizes inner experiences of meaning and feeling. 3. U.S. culture is characterized by an open view of the world, emphasizing change and movement, whereas traditional Chinese culture is typified by a closed world view, praising stability and harmony. 4. U.S. culture places primary faith in rationalism and is oriented toward the future, whereas traditional Chinese culture rests on kinship ties and tradition with an historical orientation. 5th, U.S. culture emphasizes horizontal dimensions of interpersonal relationships, whereas traditional Chinese culture places more weight on vertical interpersonal relationship. The last one, U.S. culture values the individual personality, whereas traditional Chinese culture weighs heavily a person's duties to family, clan, and state. And second, culture values and advertising. Early studies by Sean and Huang, 1962, demonstrate the U.S. print media advertisements are not effective in India because the appeal run counter to indigenous cultural values. More recent, Jones 2000 reports that through customers in each continent share similar needs, they vary in the way they characterize the products that can satisfy those needs. In summary, the debate over the standardization or specification of international advertising messages in different countries around the world has a great momentum to read research in cultural values and advertising. The key issue remains how to determine whether there are important differences in cultural values among nations and to what extent those values affect advertising effectiveness. The next one is Sylvia.
Okay, next one is methodology. First, in order to examine cultural values reflected in U.S. and Chinese advertising appeals, we designed two research questions. First is, what are the differences in the cultural value between Chinese and American commercials? And second, do the cultural values reflect in the advertisement content in these two countries? These are Taiwan and American. However, for foreigners, they always cannot distinguish Taiwan from China. So they regarded people in Taiwan or in China as Chinese. So that's why I determined to compare Chinese with American, not Taiwanese with American. In this research, qualitative research method and the semi-structured interview were utilized, and two female Americans living in Taiwan were selected to answer the interview questions. We adopt closed-end questions and open-end questions. And in this research, cultural values consist of group consensus appeal, individual or independence appeal, social self appeal, hard self appeal, veneration of elder or tradition appeals, and the last one is status appeal. Each interview question corresponds with one cultural value. For example, do Taiwanese or American commercials stress mood and atmosphere through a beautiful scene or an emotional story? That corresponds with softer self-appeal. However, next part is results. The Chinese commercial utilizes the following cultural values more often than does the U.S. commercial. First one is soft self-appeal. Next one is veneration elderly or tradition appeal. The last one is group consensus. And in contrast, the U.S. sample uses the hard sell appeal and individual or independence appeal more frequently. According to the findings, we realized that the use of cultural values over commercial appeals was significantly different between the Chinese and the U.S. samples. And for example, hard sell is traditional U.S. style commercial appeals. In that U.S. advertisers tend to emphasize more facts about products and suggestions from credible authorities.